Hey everyone, have I here been a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be doing our full breakdown with some fun little team builds for the Dokkan Festival exclusive Dirty Fireworks Vegeta. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So of course, how I normally start off these videos, let's look at the card arts. And I think both of them look incredibly good. I love the color effects with the purple and the highlights. The SSR actually looks like an LR, to be honest with you, an LR SSR that is, with that white outline there. Now I do like the 60% support lead int Dirty Fireworks Vegeta, the SSR int Dirty Fireworks Vegeta card art better than the TUR for this unit here. But again, I think that, you know, it's such an old unit. A lot of people aren't able to even summon on those banners. That makes me think like, okay, when are they gonna ever come back with those banners? Because of course they recently got boosted up to Easy A, the 60% leads. Hopefully they put them into the general pool, but we'll see. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent. Let's go ahead and dive into the unit in of itself. This was actually a surprise for me that we end up getting another base form Vegeta this year, because we of course recently got the Big Bang Vegeta. He starts at base form, but of course he goes into Super Saiyan, whereas this is just a base form Vegeta. Now in terms of stats here, it's not very high. It's 17,800 for HP, 16,000 for attack, and 11,680 for defense. So very standard basic Dokkan Festival exclusive unit. However, his passive is, you know, far from, you know, basic, but I wish they would have done a couple things to improve its performance. So the leader skill here is also very interesting. You have Planet Namek Saga, Gifted Warriors, and Human Deeds at 170. Then you have Dragon Ball Seekers and Pure Saiyans to boost up to 200%. Unfortunately, there's a lot of units, primarily a lot of the Friezas that aren't Dragon Ball Seekers, that aren't 200% on this team that would be on Planet Namek Saga. So it's interesting that they didn't add maybe one more category that could fit the Friezas on here to make them 200%. So in all honesty, a triple would have made a lot more sense in terms of this leader skill here. Now, the super attack is actually very beneficial. It provides you a stacking ability, greatly raises attack, and then raises defense. Both of these stack and causes immense damage to enemy. So as the fight goes on, the more powerful this unit becomes. It does have an entrance animation that basically keeps your buff for the remainder of the battle. You're going to get Ki plus 3 attack and defense 180% for the rest of the battle when facing one enemy. So this would be a situation where you are going to go into maybe a red zone that you know that have multiple enemies. This unit might not be as useful as if you know that it's just going to be a one enemy fight there. So just kind of keep that in mind. That is really the only restriction that you see in terms of this unit. Now it has kind of a mini stack ability here. You have attack and defense 50% per key sphere obtained up to 500%. Now I was hoping that this would be a permanent buff where once you get 10 key spheres you're going to keep the 500%, but it seems like it is just every turn it resets. And you're basically trying to get up to 10 key spheres every single turn for this unit here. And it's actually very difficult generally because you're going to probably run this in second or third position, and that first position probably has a better chance of getting the more orbs. So because this unit also provides you some orb changing ability. So random changing key spheres of a certain type, AGL excluded, 2 rainbow key spheres, and then reduction of damage received by 30% and a chance of evading enemies attack including super attack 18% with a AGL key sphere obtained or 5 or more key sphere obtained. So this is very easy to accomplish, of course. Then you get an additional evasion of 30% and then damage reduction 18% when attacking if HP is 50% or more, and then launches an additional super attack on top of it. So really beneficial that your HP does not fall below 50%. You are going to get a little bit of additional buff here, but more defensively. But right here is so strong that you're going to then have 48% damage mitigation and evasion if your HP is above 50% or more, and you grab at least one key AGL key sphere obtained or 5 more key sphere obtained. So got to make sure that all happens. If HP is 50% or less at the end of the turn, which I hate of that. So if HP is 50% at the end of the turn, plus an additional 50% and high chance of performing a critical hit from the next turn onward. All right. So if you fall under, actually, you know what? I read this wrong. So you fall under, you're going to get this boost for the remaining portion of the fight. So when you do fall below and then you get back up to 50%, you can get this boost, but then this should then just stay with you. So I actually read this totally wrong before. That's actually not bad. So you get a boost when you get under 50%. If you get above 50% again, you return to this boost here. So after a character performs a super attack 5 or more times in a battle, changes all key spheres to AGL key spheres at the start of the next attacking turn, and then for the character's attacking turns forward, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to AGL, to excluding AGL key spheres to AGL key spheres. So nice orb changing ability with rainbow orb changing. So after your 5 super attacks is much stronger unit. Now active skill here, you do have a massively raises attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to enemy, and then you get additional 50% to attack for the remaining of the battle, which is nice. And then this can be activated after performing 4 or more super attacks in the battle. So overall, I think this unit, they were in the right track of it. I think all they would have done if they would have just kept this as a either no restriction, right? I think that would have been beneficial. No restriction here up to 500%. Or once you get 10, this 500% stays, right? Then this unit becomes incredibly strong. But because they don't do that, you know, you reset every single time. And I think it's not as strong because generally you're getting maybe like 6, 7, 8. To get 10 is very difficult. But if you really want to nuke something, right, you have, you know, double orb changing and things of that nature, and you can do unlimited here. This would have made this unit a lot better if they would have changed that mechanic. Anyway, so that's the unit details. Let's go ahead and dive into quickly the best link partners. Actually, the best link partner is the Exchange, Krillin, and Vegeta. That's already EZA, but that's not very good. So just kind of keep that in mind. You're not going to run that unit ever, generally speaking. You know, that's unfortunate, but probably you want to, you know, pair this unit up with a King Vegeta if at all possible. The problem is when we're going to now dive into team builds here, is this team that you're working with is pretty much a Vegeta Broly combination. So this is a 200% team that you would possibly run here. You could run King Vegeta as a support. That's a no-brainer there if you wanted to switch that up a little bit here, but I just did put the EZA Broly on support here because, you know, he can support Pure Saiyan units, right? So this team is fine. This team is actually very good. The main rotation, you're consisting of Tech Vegeta and Int Vegeta, where it could be, you know, interchangeable, right? You know, this could go in main rotation versus first position versus second position there. So, and then the Broly combination is one of the best, if not the best, extreme class combination that you can run, and you're going to be running the Dirty Fireworks Vegeta as a floater, unfortunately. And that would, you know, prevent him from stacking as much as possible throughout the battle. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're going to run it this way. So this is a 200% version of that. Another option you can talk about here is since we don't know what EZAs are coming in the future, if they were to EZA either of these two units, these could be some available options as a different rotation for the team in of itself. We just don't know what's going to happen and how they're going to improve this, because this team right now is good as is, right? That's the 200% team here. But if you want to run like a Namek Saga, I'll talk about that in a few seconds here. You really don't have much options. So another team build that you can run is a full Broly main rotation, right? And then you don't even bring in King Vegeta as support. You just bring in the AGL Broly so he can go domain after 5 turns, and you're gonna be rocking. So this is another option that you can run in this different team here. You can run Vegeta in a main rotation. That's gonna be a little bit interesting and awkward. It's not going to link very well unless you do have the King Vegeta in the rotation, because he's going to support and link really well with the Dirty Fireworks Vegeta. So what you could do, right, you could start this way and then move the Brolys back in main rotation afterwards, right? So that is an option that you can do once maybe Vegeta's built up well enough, but you can, I guess, you can keep the Brolys on a floater position as well. So this is a team design that you could absolutely run. It could be very relevant. The thing I was talking about before, the Planet Namek Saga in of itself does not have much on it. If you wanted to run a full Planet Namek Saga, again, I mentioned this during the leader skill discussion, is that you have the new Super Easy A full power Frieza, and then the banner Kui here. Those two units aren't even 200% on Vegeta's team, right? Because neither of them are technically Dragon Ball Seekers, right? So it's odd that they ended up doing that. Of course, we have the EZA to the STR Namek Goku there. And then we have some other units that need an EZA. You can run Ginyu maybe as a support. The Planet Namek Saga, this is a decent buff. But it's not a strong enough team to even be in like the top 50 teams, it seems like right now, in terms of running the single category in Planet Namek Saga. So hopefully they are going to EZA a lot of units on here, but we technically don't even know that this is going to be a focus on Planet Namek Saga, because it could be Gifted Warriors or Inhuman Deeds. Remember God Topo, we thought it was going to be a tournament participants or Universal 11 celebration, but it ended up being a special pose celebration. So we kind of don't know quite yet what the celebration is all about until we find out what maybe the Part 2 LR is, things of that nature. It seems like it's going to be Planet Namek Saga because we get the Super EZA to Frieza here, but technically I believe that could be Human Deeds as well, I think. I'm not sure. But let's see, another team that you can run is a full Vegeta team. You have a Vegeta Nappa on here, but if they do Easy A that exchange Goku Vegeta and he's runnable, then this team actually can be a very viable unit or a viable team. But as is right now, you gotta have that big hole with that Easy A Nappa on there. But it's viable on most fights, right? Maybe the top tier, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I think you can suffice with this type of team. Finally, I do want to talk about this unit here on the other base form Vegeta in the Big Bang Vegeta. Because they don't link together because they have the same name, you're not going to run this in first position, unfortunately, and your Big Bang Vegeta is generally just stationed in first position on that team. So again, just kind of keep that in mind. Is the option is right here is what you're gonna exchange out. You can put really any of these units down here in the main second rotation. Even LRGGT can be put into that spot as well. I just realized I don't have the EZA on the Tech Broly, but there we go. You can just go ahead and do that. So this is a variation of the team that you can run with Big Bang Vegeta. But ultimately, yeah, this unit is fine. Definitely a filler unit after the Worldwide Celebration. This is a unit that is going to be precursor to Daima. Daima we should get something on the 11th on the premiere, but I think we're also going to get another banner. I don't know if it's going to be summonable or not quite yet. We might get some summonable Dokkan Festival exclusive Diamond units maybe after a few weeks once Diamond kind of gets really off and running. Maybe we just get the free to play now on the 11th. But anyway, be interesting to see what happens to the celebration here. I believe it's called the Autumn Celebration versus, again, more of the Vegeta Planet Namek Saga celebration. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we'll catch you next time. Later.